Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is soujisakatattv, and today we are back at it again with our epic Rap Battles of History reactions. So, I'm very excited because I remember this battle, and I know it's a really, really good one. But today, on deck, we have Freddy Kruger versus Wolverine. So, as usual, if you're watching this on YouTube, because it's the only place I'm putting it, so hit that like and subscribe down there for me. It always helps out. Check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/soujisakatattv. My Twitter, which is twitter.com/soujisakatattv. Or X. I don't know if they switched it. Whatever. It's Twitter or X, soujisakatattv. And, of course, my TikTok at soujisakata as well. So, I may have a cool announcement regarding something I'm being asked to potentially do. I can't confirm it yet. But stay tuned. There may be a really cool announcement coming up. It'll be mostly on Twitter, I think. So check that out if I get to do it. I'll make an announcement here on YouTube as well if I do. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Freddy Krueger, Wolverine. Let's go.
Upper crop battles first. Wolverine.
Wait, I wanted to look. It's been a while since I've seen this, but I do remember it quite well. Oh, right, yes, comic book accurate Wolverine. I remember watching, this was one of the few I've watched the ERB2 on, like the behind the scenes. I haven't watched a lot of those, but I remember Lloyd is very, very into Wolverine, hence why he wanted to make sure he was portrayed very accurately. So Wolverine is actually, or like, accurate to the comics, I should say. So, he's got the, like, very traditional style Wolverine, like the actual, like, rubber suit style versus, like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine. I think he actually doesn't like the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, so I think he tried to avoid that best he could. But yeah, good Wolverine. I love, and the special effects with the blades, like, truly impressive. Those look real.
Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock you.
Alright, already starting off with the... I'm not the biggest horror movie film, but I do know the Freddy Krueger, like, nursery rhyme. 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. So I love how they started out like that, of course, because that's exactly how anything with Freddy Krueger would start. So... a good one. And then 3, 4, you better lock here. Of course, the real line would be door. But this is a rap battle, so we get the beat drop and a record scratch effect. Lock you. That's just a fun way to come in. Not a lot of depth to it, but I like it. Also, visuals. Like tricycle with the blood coming off the wheels. Isn't that a thing from... Isn't that a thing from one of the Freddy Krueger, like, Nightmare on Elm Street stuff? Isn't that one of the things that's like a famous scene? I can't remember. I think that's a famous scene.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. Better stay awake like a meth head. Spread red on your bedspread till you're lying there on your deathbed.
Alright, so we got good lines already from Freddy. Let's go back. Welcome to prime time, bitch. I don't know prime time. Obviously, prime time is like in the best possible time. That's why they call prime time TV that like 7, 8 o'clock time. You know, everybody's sitting down to watch TV after dinner with their family. So that's prime time TV. Was Nightmare on Elm Street ever, like, was there a TV show that was prime time that was Nightmare on Elm Street? Or something? I'm not 100% sure of that. That might be something somebody has to tell me. Because I'm not even going to know how to look that one up. But... I'm guessing there's something like that. But the next line, better stay awake like a meth head. Of course, we know Freddy Krueger attacks you in your dreams. So the only way to avoid Freddy, and that's what he's telling you, is you better stay awake like a meth head. Because meth, of course, keeps you up and makes you... well, it keeps you from sleeping, and it makes you kind of skitsy and paranoid, from what I understand. So... and then spread red on your bedspread, as he did to Johnny Depp's character in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Again, I don't know all of this from watching the movies. I just, pop culture, I've done enough research to know who these people are over the... I play Dead by Daylight. I need to know these things. So, even though he's not technically in the game, I did a little research on horror villains a while back to, like, understand DBD a little bit so I could play with my friends. And I looked up Freddy Krueger assuming he was in the game. He wasn't, so that's how I know some of these things without actually having seen the movies. But yes, killed Johnny Depp's character in his bed, and actually I think he used the bed to kill him, but spread red in your bedspread till you're lying there in your deathbed. So a fun, like, bed-on-bed play, and a good verse to start. Or a good line to start, I should say. We're not done with the verse quite yet.
Like a meth head, spread red on your bedspread till you're lying there on your deathbed. You got a healing factor? I gotta kill bitches on the ceiling factor. Under that mask, you're a singer slash actor. Under my skin, I'm a slasher slash slasher.
Ouch. A bit gory for my taste, cutting his own fingers off, but that would be a Freddy Krueger thing to do. I love that. You got a healing factor? I gotta kill him on the ceiling factor. Because, yeah, that is... Wolverine's healing factor is impressively strong. But, I mean, that is... one is more useful. The other is a lot more memorable. Yeah, you're not going to forget... I mean, that is kind of the whole premise of, like, the entire show of Supernatural, is the fact that their mom died by being stuck to the roof. Or stuck to the ceiling. So, that's a good flex for him there. And then under that mask, you're a singer slash actor, of course, talking about... I'm guessing that's a rip at Hugh Jackman, because he is a singer and an actor, and quite a good one at that. I've never seen The Greatest Showman, but I've heard it's good. I believe that's a Hugh Jackman movie. But so, yeah, and under my skin, I'm a slasher slash slasher. So he's like, you're a singer and an actor. I'm a slasher, and when I'm not slashing, I'm still out slashing. And I'm going to put a slash between it just because I can. Like, that's good wordplay. I like it.
Under that mask, you're a singer slash actor. Under my skin, I'm a slasher slash slasher. Bitch, I come from Wes Craven's twisted mind. You come from comic books the kids get when they're well behaved at Christmas time.
That's actually a really good flex. Wes Craven, of course, known for coming up with very dark and twisted things that... it's very pop culture when it comes to horror, and it's a very popular thing. I just realized the bottom part of my screen was cut off. I'm going to adjust that real quick. There we go. But so that's a really good, flex. Is I come from the mind of Wes Craven, somebody very dark and twisted. I'm a horror villain. That's a good thing for me. You come from comic books that kids get when they're good at Christmas. That's a little less hardcore. It's popular, but it's not hardcore. So that's a good flex. I like it. Oh, I clicked off.
Seagulls come, they want their hairstyle returned. That wasn't even my business. It was just a sideburn.
Probably one of my favorite lines in this song. Flock of seagulls called, because the Wolverine outfit does look like two big wings. The mask does. But also the fact they want their hairstyle returned, of course. If you haven't seen... We're going to look this up real quick. Flock of seagulls. Yeah, they always had... Yeah, like this. Look at this ridiculous hair. Like, what is that? So, flock of seagulls called. They want their hairstyle returned. That's... Oh my god, that is such a bad... Like, there are 80s hairstyles that looked okay, and then there's that. Like, the other three are okay. They're not the best, but what is that? Like, come on, man. So that's a good diss. I like that one. And then he finishes it. That wasn't even my main diss. It's just a side burn. So it's a burn that's on the side, but it's also like side burn in your hair. Such a good diss. I love that.
And that wasn't even my main diss. It was just a sideburn. Nice glove, bub, but I'm real from bones to teeth. And that claw's like a strap-on. There's a pussy underneath.
And Wolverine right out the gate. I'll tell you what, the last few battles, though, the first verse gets a little slow to get going, and then the whoever retaliates just claps back so hard. Oh, man. So, and I love that. He says, nice glove, bub, but I'm real from bones to teeth. Because, well, Freddy Krueger uses his weapon of choice is the glove full of knives like that you see him flaunting. Wolverine is actually made of metal. He's got the metal inside of him. It's his bones, it's his teeth, it's those claws that come out of him. That is Wolverine. Whereas Freddy Krueger's, he's just using a weapon. It's just a glove. Wolverine couldn't get rid of his claws if he wanted to. Which I absolutely love the fact that he's, you can use whatever you want. This is me. Like, that's a good flex. And that, and of course, continuing on with that, that claw is like a strap-on. There's a underneath. That's pretty much how that works, because if you're familiar with the adult toy world, if you're using a strap-on, that's exactly what's underneath of it. And he's calling him that. He's like, that's just something you have on you. That makes you what's underneath. That's a good flex. I like that one.
From bones to teeth, that claw's like a strap-on. There's a pussy underneath. Don't sleep. That's all you got for me. Could defeat your ass with a cup of tea. I've been to hell and back and whooped Satan's ass. You got beat by a Nancy on Elm Street.
Ooh, and another one coming out the gate hard here. Don't sleep. That's all you've got for me. Like, that was his advice. Is, better stay awake like a meth head. And he's like, so you're telling me don't sleep? Dude, I could defeat you with a cup of tea. Like, just have a hot cup of tea and stay awake. I win. Like, that's such an easy... He's like, how easy is that to defeat? Just don't go to sleep. Like, yeah, sure, eventually you have to, but if that's all you have to do to defeat him in the short term, like, battle won. Easy. So, I love that, and he says, I've been to hell and back and whoop Satan's ass. Which is true. In the comic books, of course, Marvel Comics go way too deep sometimes. And yeah, there's a Wolverine comic. I had to look this up when I first saw this battle a long time ago, because I'm like, did that actually happen? It really happened. Wolverine actually has an arc where he goes to hell and defeats Satan himself. Because, that's just something you do on a Tuesday or whatever. But yeah, he's like, I did that. I beat Satan, the literal embodiment of evil. You lost to Nancy on Elm Street. Like, talk about getting beat by somebody. Like, not to diss on anybody named Nancy if you're watching this from Elm Street, but you are not the most intimidating of characters usually. If I could think of people who intimidate me, Nancy from Elm Street isn't on the list. So that's a really good diss. I love this. Also, top tier cosplay from Lloyd here on this one. Freddy's okay. The rubber mask, even they admitted, they're like, it didn't work out as good as we wanted, but the Wolverine cosplay is top tier. I hope he kept that for Comic-Cons.
Cup of tea, I've been to hell and back and whooped Satan's ass. You got beat by a Nancy on Elm Street. You wanna talk about Burns, Mac? The PTA turned your face into Deadpool's ball sack. Wrapped in a Where's Waldo sweater. Jason can't talk and he rocks the mic better.
Oh, man. I don't care if I hear it once or 100 times. I love that bar. That whole thing. So he's already gone through and dissed him and basically refuted his whole don't sleep, that's all you've got for me line. So he's refuted that. Now he goes back after the sideburn line. He's like, look, you want to talk about my sideburns? Let's talk about the burns on your face. Because the PTA, the parent-teacher... No, what is it? What is a PTA? I think it's Parent-Teacher Association. Pakistan Telecommunication Authority. Definitely not what I'm looking for. PTA meaning. Let's look for that. Parent-Teacher Association. I was right. So yeah, it's like a group of parents and teachers, which were the people that Freddy Krueger was... or they were trying to take him down in the movies, was the parents and the teachers of that community. So he's like, you want to talk about my sideburns? Let's talk about your burned up face, because they turned your face into Deadpool's ball sack. Which, of course, if you've ever seen Deadpool, he has a very It's a very, like, Freddy Krueger-esque thing with his skin. He looks very strange. And, yeah, so if you can imagine what his face looks like, Deadpool's, yeah, that's not, I don't think that's something you want to look like for sure. And then, of course, you're wrapped in a Where's Waldo sweater, the red and black stripy sweaters. That's just doing him dirty right there. That's just wrong, man. But and then Jason can't talk, and he rocks the mic better. That's I love he's even got him rapping. And yeah, here's what I meant. Jason's a tall guy. Look how short Wolverine is. They scaled him down a little bit to be more accurate to the comic book height. But I love that.
Burns Mac, the PTA turned your face into Deadpool's ball sack. Wrapped in a Where's Waldo sweater. Jason can't talk and he rocks the mic better. So step into my cat now, see if you can hack that. Better hang on to your whack hat, cause your worst nightmare ain't you jack shit compared to the least of my Weapon X flashbacks on the...
Okay, that's a lot to unpack right there. But this is where I like this verse because he's actually saying some shit. So step into my catnap and see if you can hack that. Because, of course, that's what Freddy, as we said, does. He goes into your dreams. So Wolverine's inviting him in. He's like, look, you want to come in here and see my dreams? Come on in. Let's see if you can hack that, because they both use blades. So that's a pun on using their blades to hack at something. But also, let's see if you can hack it when you're in my head. Because I'm messed up inside. And you better hang on to your whack hat. Because, yeah, because your worst nightmare ain't Hugh Jack shit. Of course, again, Hugh Jackman reference. But also, he doesn't like Hugh Jackman, so that's also kind of a double on him. Like, it's Hugh Jack shit. And also, huge ass shit. So that's like a triple or a quadruple on its own right there. Just in like a double, triple, quadruple meaning thing. But he's also, again, still playing off of that. See if you can step into my catnap. See if you can hack that. Because your worst nightmare ain't Hugh Jack shit compared to the least of my Weapon X flashbacks. So when they made him the Wolverine and gave him the adamantium, he's like, yeah, your little nightmares you think you cause me, and like all of this stuff you're all about, dude, I've had worse nightmares than that, and I've had to live through them. And it's like, that's tough. That is hard. That is like, that goes really hard. Like, damn. So I love that. And so now he's ragging on him because, you know, he's like, I'll get in your dreams and terrify you. And Wolverine's like, what are you going to do that I haven't already seen? So Wolverine's first verse is so good in this.
Your worst nightmare ain't you jack shit compared to the least of my Weapon X flashbacks on the adamantium champion X-Man. You'll only ever be half of Edward Scissorhands, so don't get me more pissed, chump. I'll take your whole franchise out with a fist bump.
Oh, I love that. And I love the wordplay here. I'm the adamantium champion X-Man. Which is, because of course he's the X-Men. It's the X-Men he's a part of, but he's the champion X-Man. It's a funny way to play off of champion and adamantium, but it's like a really fun, like, wordplay thing. And then you'll only ever be half of Edward Scissorhands, because he's only got the one glove. And don't get me more pissed, chump. I'll take your whole franchise out with a fist bump. Of course, normally a fist bump isn't that powerful, but when all of your bones are covered in the strongest metal known to man, yeah, that fist bump's gonna pack more punch. That's a good diss. I like that. Oh, wait, Edward Scissorhands. That was played by Johnny Depp. That's a tie to the movies. That's such a good... It's not really a double, but it's just kind of a good reference. I love that. That's awesome.
Look at the size of your body. How can I possibly think I'm in trouble? I can't tell the difference between your action figure and your stunt double.
So call it basically just short jokes there, because that's the one thing Wolverine hasn't basically stood up to, is the fact that, yeah, he's short. So that's where we're at with Freddy Krueger, is basically just short jokes now.
What's the matter? You look tired, eh? I'll be in your bed tonight. I'm like Jean Grey. As for me, I'm a shit magnet, so heavy metal bitches are real attracted.
Oh, that hurts. What's the matter? You look tired, eh? Of course, trying to get into his dreams and, make him regret it. I'll be in your bed tonight, unlike Jean Grey. Of course, Jean Grey, Wolverine's love interest that always ends up with Cyclops, and Wolverine gets the short end of the stick. So, as for me, I'm a chick magnet, so heavy metal bitches are real attracted. And of course, he's turning his arms into magnets like he would do in the dream to, basically utilize it against Wolverine. But, of course, also calling Wolverine he's calling him a bitch because Wolverine is literally made of heavy metal. So he's like, I'm a chick magnet, and that means heavy metal bitches like you are real attracted. That's so good. I love that bar.
I'm like Jean Grey. As for me, I'm a chick magnet. So heavy metal bitches are real attracted. What the fuck's a Wolverine? Some kind of an angry beaver? I was more intimidated by a tiny Canadian the first time I saw Justin Bieber.
Now that hurts. I do like the bar. What the fuck's a Wolverine? Some kind of an angry beaver, which I mean, kind of, yeah. But I was more intimidated by a tiny Canadian the first time I saw Justin Bieber. Now that's not a diss I would wish on my worst enemy, and that's a really good jab. But it is sad. It's sad. I wish there was a little more depth to it. Like Wolverine's gone in and like refuted everything. And I mean, he can't really do much about the short jokes, I guess, though. So that is a good form of attack because there's no real defense. He is short, and there's not really anything he can do about it. So that's a good diss. Alright, what else?
That verse stung, bub, but I've already recovered. I'll call you tomorrow morning if I need my toast butter. I ain't got
Oh, and I love... The short jokes are one thing, because, I mean, he kind of is short. I don't know, that joke is more playground funny to me, though. I love, starting off, that verse stung, bub, but I've already recovered. Of course, playing on his healing factor now, so he's now turning that down from the first verse with the healing factor. I'll call you tomorrow morning if I need my toast buttered. Making fun of the fact that he's got knives on his hand. So he's like, yeah, if I need you, I'll just be needing you to butter my toast with your little glove hand there, buddy. I love that.
covered. I'll call you tomorrow morning if I need my toast butter. I ain't got time for this. Saving the world, what qualities do you bring? You're a pedophile from the Midwest. At least R. Kelly could sing.
Oh, I don't think I need to explain that. Ouch. Yeah, if you're that from the Midwest, yeah, I mean, that is a good point. They are both that from the Midwest, and R. Kelly could at least sing. Yeah, that's as terrible of a person as R. Kelly was. He did make music that wasn't terrible at the time. I mean, knowing what you know about him, you don't want to support the person. But back then, when you didn't know, I mean, yeah, that music wasn't all that bad. Yeah, Freddy Kruger don't have that. That's bad when you're playing second fiddle to R. Kelly. Ouch.
You're a pedophile from the Midwest. At least R. Kelly could sing. See, I've got the wrong room if you're looking for fear. Only thing scares me is a fridge with no beer. That face tells me you've met your match. So come back if you've got another inch to scratch.
Oh, I love it. So, if you're in the wrong room if you're looking for fear. Of course, that's what Freddy feeds on, is fear. And, because he's in the wrong room if he's looking for fear. Because the only thing that scares the Wolverine is a fridge with no beer. And, honestly, I believe that. There aren't many things that scare Wolverine, sans not having beer. Beer is top of his list of things he wants. And, of course, that face tells me you've met your match. Because he's got burns. So he literally met his match. Like, matchstick. Well, fire. But also, looking at his face, he's like, yeah, you met your match. I'm your match. I've beat you. I win. He's like, it's a win line and also still a burn on his burns. That goes hard. But come back if you've got another itch to scratch. Because he's like, he finally references his own claws. He's like, you got another itch to scratch, come back and I'm going to use these on you. Like, that is such a good diss. But I also love Freddy coming through the wall right here. Like, and he keeps showing up this whole verse if you watched. Where's it at? There he is, creeping along. He's in the window. There he is in the mirror. And there he is coming through the window or the wall. I love that. That's such good production on their part. That's honestly visually one of my favorite battles. I think it's so much fun, and they use a lot of really cool tactics and techniques with this battle. But I will say, despite Wax doing an awesome job with Freddy Krueger, Wolverine hands down wins this battle for me. No questions asked. Just banger after banger after banger of a bar. I mean, it was just, there wasn't even time for reload. It was just fire, 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 fire. Couple of good, like, informational bars, and then fire, fire, fire. Whereas, Freddy didn't quite have that level of hit on it. It was still good, but Wolverine's was, like, tremendous. So, but that's going to be my reaction here. Wolverine definitely wins. Do you agree? Do you think Freddy won? If so, let me know down in the comments. If I missed anything, as always, let me know down in the comments as well. I always appreciate being politely informed. You know, I'm all for learning, and if you got something, like I said, if you think you know something that maybe I missed, please let me know. I always like learning about things. So, but thank you for watching. Like I said, like, follow, subscribe. Hit up my Twitch, my TikTok, my X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And until next time, my name's Soji, and I'm out. I'll catch you on the next one. Later.